This is burden, the etymology of burden. A load, that which is borne or carried. A load, weight, charge, duty, right? Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai, 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 Kol Halayim La, Abanawa Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachaha Kodash. Double honor to our apostles and our elders, a great millstone, who rule well, teach and sound doctrine to this very day. Strong shalom to the hopeful elect, and the rest of the large multitude, men, women, and children, that the Lord will have mercy on these last days, these perilous times, meaning dangerous times. All right. Lord willing, this quick hit is edifying. Just real quick, I want to go into the fact that, you know what I'm saying, we are a burden to Babylon. Okay, we're a burden to Babylon. Okay, why are we a burden to Babylon? Because we're a load that he's not willing to carry. You know, which is why he tried to just make it to where we were extinct as a whole nation, because Israel is a load to carry. You know, Israel is a load, a thorn in his side. You know, it says that which is born or carried. All right, and in this load that we're carrying as men of the Lord, as the prophets of the Lord, we're carrying this load that Yahweh Shai came on the scene and carried, and that he pushed, and what he is, and who he stands by, what he stands by. Okay. This is Matthew 11:27. All things are delivered unto me of my Father, and no man knoweth the Son, but the Father. Neither knoweth any man the Father, save the Son, and he to whomsoever the Son will reveal him. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So the first stop, right, is to come unto him first. You know, that's the first thing. And that's why the elect spirits are called the only begotten as well as Hamashiach, because they're the first of its kind. The elect are the first spirits created to worship the Father and the Son. All right. So those spirits are going to carry the same burden that Yahweh Shai carried. This is Sirach 19:18. The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him, and wisdom obtained of his love. You see, the fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him. You know, and this is what the first created spirits, those elect spirits, had when they first were created, and still do. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life, and they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. The fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and all wisdom is the performance of the law and the knowledge of his omnipotency, because he has no beginning or end. When the scriptures speak about beginning and ends, they're talking about Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, the Father is infinite. All right, he is. He's to be. Yahweh. Yah means he. Hawa means be. He be, or he is. You know. Matthew 11:27. Again, all things are delivered unto me of my Father, and no man knoweth the Son but the Father. Neither knoweth any man the Father save the Son. He to whomsoever the Son will reveal him. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So you come unto wisdom first. You come unto you fear the Lord, okay, first. And that's what it said. It's the knowledge of the wisdom, okay, which performs and allows the wisdom to manifest in thyself, okay. And by doing that, the Lord gives you rest. But so by doing that, what was that? It's in Psalms. See if I can get it real quick. in Psalms 73. Come back to that. Psalm 73. 17. It says, until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High, then understood I their end. So it wasn't until the first step, or the first step was to fear the Lord. It wasn't until we went into the sanctuary of the Father that gave us the understanding of the wicked's end, or the end of an age, the end of a empire, the end of a people. Okay, it wasn't until I went into the sanctuary of the Lord, and then was I able to understand, the mysteries and the dark sayings and the parables that Yahweh Shem Shai are displaying throughout the scriptures. And that comes with the load. Okay, and knowing these different things, you now become an enemy of the state. Okay, I might watch that tonight with Will Smith. But it's a good movie to check out. I haven't watched it. I don't even think I even watched the whole thing before. It was a long time when I watched it, so I might just do that through the Spirit. But yeah, now we become an enemy of the state. Okay, which Elder Yashawama just did a video on the guy Haman. Okay, and he's making a documentary, which we've been telling people they were gonna make a documentary for a couple years now, dealing with the vocab Malones, etc., to demonize you. Why do you think? See, Jake get emotional when we say you shouldn't take your guns to camp and all this other stuff. But even if just because you can do it doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do. You see, because we're in a different time. We're in a different time period. So Yahweh Shai, that's why he said if this was his kingdom, his servants would fight. But this is not his kingdom. This is Satan's kingdom. Okay, so you have to move with wisdom. So having your guns, having your straps on your hips at camp, it's just another way they can demonize you in these documentaries, which is all according to prophecy. And I think about that. The Lord is using you to fulfill certain prophecies. You see, I don't want to be used in that way. Lord willing, we're used correctly. I mean, not saying it's off, but Lord willing, I'm saying in terms of not coming against the Father in any way, shape, or form. If that makes sense. Like Peter, he cut off the ear, but Yahweh tried to rebuke him and say, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You see? So it's things that we must walk in Yahweh Shai with, and those are things according to judgment. And these judgments become a burden upon the kingdom that we're currently underneath. Okay, whether it was the ancient Babylonian kingdom, the Syrians, the Greeks, the Romans, whoever, man. Now we're just under the revived Roman Empire. All right, spiritual Babylon, spiritual Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah. So we're still in captivity. So we still have to move with wisdom. And moving with wisdom, that becomes a burden, a real pain unto the elites. The Lord says, take my yoke upon you and learn of me. And that's what we're doing. We're learning under the Lord. And it's that spirit of the Lord is allowing us to go out on the highways and hedges and compel them to come in, the elect. And at the same time, this two-edged sword is used to disconnect. The Lord said, I come to send a sword on the earth. That two-edged sword is coming to chop off the connection the elect had with the world, and to disconnect the world's connection they had with the elect. You see, that two-edged sword cutting one way and cutting out. This word is a weapon. In terms of a spiritual weapon. Okay, that manifests itself into the physical realm. This book tell you about stones and all type of things that witches and warlocks use on the left-hand side, because they know that this thing that the Bible teaches and the doctrine that it upholds and the things that it talks about according to the elements that come from the earth that dwells on the earth, okay, they know that they can only get it from here. It says again, Matthew 11:29, take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy, right? My yoke is easy and my burden is light. A yoke is, you think of something that you're chained to. So we're servants to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, okay? We're servants for his sake, okay? We're servants for the elect's sake, okay? We're a prisoner to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So his yoke is easy and his burden is light, okay? So his load that he's asking us to drink of is light, even though Wisdom of Solomon 3, it may seem as if we're taking for misery and our departure is taken for misery, but yet we are at peace. Because why? It says ye shall find rest unto your souls, because it says learn of me, you see, and we're learning of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and we're walking in him, okay? We're walking in him. Then until I went to the sanctuary Yahweh Shem Yahushua, then I understood their end, you know. So that's what we're commanded to do. We're commanded to go into Yahweh Shem Yahushua and do the things according to his measure. And his measure is according to prophecies that allows one to understand what's coming next and what the future holds, man. Okay, and the things that's relevant. Nothing else matters in this world, in this false reality, you know. So that's why he said in Matthew 11, as we just read, learn of him, you know. And by doing this, we automatically put ourselves into the same cup, drink from the same cup that Yahweh Shah has drunken from. But with that, though, comes what? Responsibility and discipline. In order to be a disciple, we have to be disciplined, right? And then what comes with that? Persecution. You see, because why? This is a burden unto the nations. You see, this is why you see the war in Ukraine happening. These people are losing their damn minds, man. All because the prophets woke up. If Christianity, I'm going to say modern day Christianity, right? Modern day Christianity has nothing to do with the Bible. You see? But if modern Christianity was the way, these guys come with these different names. I'm a reformed theologist or whatever, theologist, and I'm a reform this and that, man. You're just another level, another sect of the Christian dogma that is pushed out here. If that was the way, therefore other prophecies would have came sooner than, you know, what we deem as the correct understanding when the scriptures speak about 3 days and a half, okay, and so forth, being that spirit enter into, you know, Abba, okay, being John, right, to restore the hearts unto the fathers, because the scriptures say he was going to come twice, right? That's in the scriptures, all right? And then on top of that, you know, that, so we link everything up with prophecies, and that's just why this we're a burden unto this nation and into this kingdom, because by doing this we're pushing trueness. All right, if I have a dark room and I come in with the smallest flashlight is going to emit light, and that small emitting of light, whatever area it hits, is going to light it up. So even if it was just one camp out here, like it was once upon a time, it was just one. You had the One West school, right? The truth came out of One West, you know, which is why you also had the Lord Havoc in New York, you know, like, and you got to make everything make sense. Everything's perfectly aligned up, man. But, you know, like if you think about the apostles, starting with Apostle Tahar on down, you know, just a small sect. The elders say it was 7 of them when they was pushing that, you know, dealing with the 2000 doctrine thing. It was about 7 of them. But look now, all over the world, little sanctuaries spread out. Why? Because of what the Lord told us to do. Learn of him and walk in him. By doing that, we're walking in that light. We're the specks of light. And eventually when all it needs to take is one person to see that speck of light, and then others are transformed as well. You know, and that's what the prophets are, that speck of light, okay? A luminary of that greater light, and that greater light is Yahweh Yahushua, you know? It says the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy against many countries and against great kingdoms, and of war and of evil and of pestilence. You see, This is what's going on. We're prophesying, setting our face against the evildoers. We're making our foreheads hard against these people, you know. And that two-edged sword is cutting us off from society and society off from us to the point that we have no choice but to be clean. When you isolate someone, they have no choice but to get better. You know, when you focus on one task, you have no choice but to excel at that task because your main focus is that one task. But then you have balance, you have lunchtime, right? You have a breaking period, okay? And that's what we have. But this is our main job. And because of that, we became a thorn into Esau's side. We became a burden, a load. Okay, and that load is of Yahweh HaMashiach, man. You know, when you go to Zechariah chapter 12 and 1, it says the burden of the word of the most high power of Israel. So this is the burden of the word. This word is burdensome unto the one who's ruling. Okay? It's burdensome. Burdensome. Heavy. You see, wearisome. You see, let's see what that say.
Wearisome.
Causing one to feel tired or bored. Says, yeah, it says causing weariness, tiresome, right? So meaning that what the prophecies and the preaching on the streets is wearing the beast out, man. This is the only weapon that's able to wound the beast, man. You know, and cut the head off. This is the only weapon that's able to cut the head off the beast. Because you cut the head off a snake, it just keeps growing. I mean, you cut the tail off a snake, it keeps growing. But if you cut the head off, the body dies, man. You know. So it's a heavy load. So the burden of the word of the Most High power of Israel said unto the Yahweh Shemel Shah, which stretcheth forth the heavens and laid the foundation of the earth and formeth the spirit of man within him. So the Most High is in control. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about, when they shall be in the siege, both against Judah and against Jerusalem. So the Lord is making us a cup of trembling unto the people, right? They're starting to see things that we were saying come to pass, even people in these other camps. It says, in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people, a heavy load, something that makes you really, really tired, right? All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. And they're gathered together against us. You see? They're gathered against us together. It says that First Maccabees 3 and 52, First Maccabees 2 and 10, right? Psalms 83, so forth. Though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it, and that's their whole agenda, that's the goal, to be gathered against Israel, but we becoming a load unto these people, man. You see, it's too much. It's too much for them to handle. And but why? Because you have the true prophets walking in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You're starting to see these things come to pass. Now it's not a coincidence that we're waking up at a massive rate and all these prophecies are coming to pass. You see, the people of the world can't see the synchronicity in that. They just see it as other niggas on the earth being niggas that want to, you know what I'm saying? They just see us trying to seek a sense of identity, which that ultimately is also too, because we were seeking a sense of identity. We're the only people on the face of the earth that don't truly have an identity. But all these things ties into the prophecies according to the measurements of the prophecies and according to its designated time, man. You know, it says the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see. The Lord always had it where the prophets were burdens. All right. Right. It says the burden of Babylon. It's going to tell you what the burden of Babylon is. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. The high banner is the scriptures. And the high mountain is the elites, the government. So we're lifting this banner up, all right, upon the high mountain. Okay? We're bold enough to climb this mountain and then, you know, raise our banner up on this mountain, you know, if in the face of those who've stolen this this land in the first place, man. We're just claiming back what's ours, you know. It says, lift ye up a banner upon a high mountain. This banner is the scriptures, the mountain is the elites. Exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. When we shake the hand, we're pointing the finger, meaning we're speaking with authority. We're speaking with austereness. Okay, we mean what we say, right? So that's why I said shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles, right? These top banking families, right? The ones you don't see on screen. These are the gates of the nobles, man. You know? Isaiah 19:1, because the Lord has us prophesying, is bringing burdens, it's bringing loads that's too much for Babylon to carry, man. Because there's too many people prophesying. Isaiah 19:1, the burden of Egypt, you see? Synonymous with Babylon. You know? Burden of Babylon, burden of Egypt. All right? All the burdens. Burden. Right? The burden of Egypt. Behold, Yahweh Shem Yahushua rideth upon a swift cloud and shall come into Egypt. You see? Is this the Father? Even though it's in all caps, is this literally the Father that's going to come into the swift cloud? That's on his fathership? No, man. It's Yahweh Shai, man. You see, you gotta understand things. Behold, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shem Yahushua rideth upon a swift cloud and shall come into Egypt. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And that's what we're seeing. The heart, meaning a mindset. The system is nothing more, nothing less than Esau's mind. So this his mind, his system is melting. When something melts, it's withering away. Okay, it's becoming less of itself. It was once a solid, now it's turned into liquid. All right, it's melting. Okay, it's decaying. Whatever word you want to put there, it's becoming no more. So the heart, the mind of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Okay, not on the outside once you're established. It's melting in the midst of your plan, which is Yahweh Shem Yahushua said in Job, all right, in many chapters, that he's going to disappoint your enterprise. He's going to disappoint your device so that you cannot fulfill your belly. Okay. And we go into that word device, it just means a plan. Okay, he's gonna disappoint, or he's gonna stop your plan from actually being executed all across the globe. It says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and because of prophecy, and because of this, the prophecies causing burdens to come upon Babylon or Egypt, it's allowing the Lord's division to actually play out. That's why he said, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. These are all burdensomes. And they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. In the spirit, now it's talking about the spirit. Okay? Because at first, in verse 1, it says, the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And now it's saying, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. Because he has a physical and a carnal blessing. Esau, Edom, Genesis 27. He has a physical kingdom, okay? He affects you from the physical to the spiritual, but Yahweh Shai works from the spiritual to the physical, okay? In order to kill this and purge this place, you have to purge it from the physical so it can work its way to the spiritual. And that's why it started off with the physical first and jumping down to the 3 is going into the spiritual. Because of the spirit of the physical is cast down, okay? The spirit that's over it is cast down as well. The spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, because the spiritual battle is already won. You know, we're in a physical realm working out our salvation in a physical realm and looking at this man's transition in the kingdoms in a physical playing field. It says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. You see, the counsel are these these what's the word? Like, you know, it's what I'm trying to put it in plain terms. It says, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, like they're basically like their witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? The things that upholds their system is their witchcraft. All right, which gives them their power. Right, a council is set up to give out a verdict. You know, there's like also councils in the heavens. Right, the Father has things done in order, even though He can do anything when He want in a blink of a second. He have That's why you can respect Yahweh Shem Yahushua to the max, because He have it set up where order is in play. Right, when we go to the Book of Kings, dealing with the council in the heavens, dealing with Ahab, you know, it was a council first, and then a verdict was given. All right, then the judgment was executed. You know, so I would destroy the council thereof. So there's not going to be no more judges, Edomite judges on the earth, man. There's not going to be no more Edomites making decisions on the judgment of the people. All right, and the wisdom that comes with this place on the left hand side, and you know, anything that this place upholds is going to be burnt up, man. And they shall seek to the idols. You see, because the witchcraft, like it says in Isaiah 47. See if those charmers and see if those wizards save you in that day. Like in the first Egypt, they was trying to match Moses from spell to power, spell versus power, but it wasn't working, man. Instead, it caused Pharaoh's heart to harden even more. That's what the Father's going to do in this time. He allows them to reach their max in wizardry, and then they're going to try to use those same tactics, and it's not going to work. And it's going to cause their hearts, their minds to be hardened even more. That's why that's like Putin and all these different people, man. They said they're not. Bro, I just saw a video. Lord willing, I could do a video on that. I saw a video of a tank right now, either today or yesterday, just ran over this lady's car while she was driving it, man. He's not gonna spare the young or the old. But that's because the Lord have things happening to the point that their minds are being hardened, you know. So it says they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. You see, so the Lord is going to give these people over to that mindset, because that's what they upheld to, and that's what they counted on this whole time, was these wizards and these familiar spirits, man. Like Saul, when King Saul, he kicked all the witches out. But then went to go seek one just because the Father wasn't connected with him no more. He had to go wake up Samuel, man. You know, while he was asleep. You know, so, but that's what people do. When the Father is not responsive, all right, and when they have no clear-cut answer, I should say, they panic. And they convert to things that never had life, but they knew was a mimic of life. And they still had to go to it because that still gave them some form of life or fulfillment. That's what psychics are there for, and wizards and so forth. Esau being a grand wizard. Our people don't have no sense of light, they seem like, so they go to who? Esau for their answers, for their pharmacies, for their medication and for their education, for their what they're gonna eat tomorrow. They go to Esau. But like I said, man, the prophets are a burden unto Egypt, unto Babylon. The prophecies being pushed forth are become a heavy load unto Babylon, and it's causing them, it's wearing them down, man. It's wearing them down. We could close out with the classic Revelations 12:12. Therefore, rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. You see, he know he has a short time. You go to 17, and the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. And the testimony of Yahweh Shah is what? Spirit of prophecy. Revelation 19:10. I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shah. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahweh Shah is the spirit of prophecy. So we uphold to the true testimony, which is the spirit of prophecy, which is the only thing that's able to bring this kingdom down at a pace that we all desire. You see, it might seem like it's going slow, but the scriptures say, though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come. At the end, it will speak. And we're seeing these things speak now. We're seeing these things manifest themselves now. Don't fold, Akim, and you sisters that take heed. Stay strong in the faith, because this is about to test you, man. That's why the scriptures say, let every man work out his own salvation with fear and trembling. Let every man be persuaded in his own mind. You see, the Lord is going to test you on what you know. When we could have a group study session. Remember in high school, sometimes, like, not high school, probably like early elementary, when you have like study sessions in class, probably college, we have study sessions, right? And then as soon as you take the test, shit, you taking that test by yourself, man. Nobody's there with you to take this test, even though the ones who pass the test will all get the same reward. But you still have to take the test on your own. You came into the world on your own. The best part about it is, though, if you're of that number, you're not going to leave this world alone. That's the best part, but that's a part of that reward. That glory, everlasting life. But hey, man, just through the Spirit. I just went through the Spirit with this, dealing with, the burden, man. Just keep prophesying, keep teaching. When you're feeling low, just, find some inspiration through the Spirit. The Spirit always supposed to constantly be working, man. If you don't have nothing, you got to keep praying. You got to keep praying, because you always want to stay in that heat of the fire. You always want to stay in that that Holy Spirit fire, man. Because that's the only thing that's going to get us out of here. That wisdom is only going to bring us true salvation. Because by that wisdom, we keep the faith, because we know that these things make sense for this to make happen, or that happen because this had to happen. We spiritually watch everything. We discern everything, through the Spirit. And that's how it should be, from your relationships to your children, to your jobs, to whatever you got to do. Even if you don't know, sometimes you might cast a lie, you might pray. Whatever you got to do to get the answer on the scriptural point of view, on the scripture side, the right-hand side, praying, fasting, etc. is what I'm talking about. Then you got to do it, man. Don't let Satan win. Scriptures tell you in Revelations 3, don't let no man take your crown. Don't let no man take your mind, because your mind is connected to your spirit. But ultimately, don't let no man take this kingdom and salvation away from you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this is about. So Lord willing, is edifying. Just keep prophesying, keep teaching, because it's a load. It's a burdensome. It's a burden unto Babylon. It's a burden unto Egypt. And because we're prophesying, things are speeding up. And because we're prophesying, the devil is being taken out of his place. And that means what? We're much closer to us living what we've been preaching this whole time, from thousands of years, from all the bodies that we incarnated, or how many times we've been here preaching the same thing. It's all gonna be like it was seconds. It was a quick. That's why I started off in Matthew 11, because the Lord said that His load is light. His burden is light, man. So walk in Him, and you should have everlasting life. Until next time, man. Shalom.